the World Cup first round matchup between, I can't speak today, I don't know why, between Yaghul and Pupok. Yaghul with the Wood Elves. Pupok won the toss, chose to kick to him. Yaghul hasn't really played in Champs Ladder at all. He's only played one game in Champs Ladder. He qualified through the DBBC, the big German league is how he qualified. The one that I won, in fact. And he's playing Pupok, who is the exact opposite in terms of Champs Ladder. He's played over 1,900 games in Champs Ladder. Nearly twice as many games as me in Champs Ladder. He's got a 68.5 win rate overall and 82.6 with Necros. Wow. The first action there was a 2-dice block with a tree and he double skulled. Well, at least he covered the ball a little bit. But wow. The perfect... I mean, you can't blame him for making the tree first action because of the perfect defense. You know, he went all man's contact. That was a really good call by Pupok to go all men's contact. That was crazy. I mean, that was totally the right play by Yaghul. Cover the ball. I mean, maybe he could have gone for the ball pickup first. You know, you could certainly argue he could have just gone for the pickup first. But out of all the blocks he could make, maybe he could have dodged some catches away. But maybe he could have dodged all his dodge guys away. But you know, it was a horrible perfect defense for him. So yeah, Pupok. I don't really like Necros. I'm going to go Pupok's team first. Wow, a Kaz. Wow, can it start any worse? Perfect defense, tree double skull into a Kaz. That is a horrible start for Yaghul. Yeah, I just don't really like Necros because they've got to lose something. Pupok's gone for 3 rerolls with his team and 12 players, which is good, isn't it? But what isn't good is he hasn't got any ghouls at all. And skill-wise, he's got a guard and a tackle white. That's absolutely fair. A block wolf is absolutely fair. He's got mighty blow without block. Maybe he's thinking of going piling on after game 1 if he wins. And he's got 2 guard on the fleshies. You know, 2 guard on the fleshies is good, but they just lack starting skills, don't they, Necro? And they're TV inefficient with their flesh golems at low TV. Whereas Woodies are kind of hyper TV efficient with war dancers, and they don't really need the skills that they get. The only 3 skills they need are tackle on a dancer, strip on a dancer, and leader on the thrower. So his extra skill was sidestep on the catcher for the easier 1 turn. I don't really like that in the same way as I don't really like the block on my catcher. Thinking about it, I would have much rather had a wrestle lineman. But yeah, he recovered there, didn't he? That's a wow, a ballsy leap. He's got a scoring threat. Yeah, he did well. He did well to recover. I don't like going here just because he could blitz and stick him on the sideline. And I don't like just exposing him out. I would have got him back in the cage. I personally wouldn't like exposing a guy because he could foul with 12 players and worthless linemen. People could even go for a tree hit here with Claw Mighty Blow and 2 chances to knock him over. But I guess he's going to carry on committing to you know, stop the progress being 2 men up. Wow, what a horrible start for Yaghul. Yeah, Wood Elves are pretty good, you know. Oh, he didn't have block on his wolf. Okay, he got away with it, but that could have been a dead wolf. A little bit greedy, wasn't it, going for the mighty blow blitz rather than the block? But then, if he'd put the defenseless wolf against the dancer, he'd just got 1 dice kill probably. Kaz only on a zombie. Doesn't regen though, so evens the odds on the drive well, doesn't even. Nearly, you know, makes up the odds on the drive a little bit, so it's still a good Kaz even though it's only a zombie. Yeah, I actually quite like getting the tree away. Although the tree on 3 players should be good, I actually quite like getting him away and only isolating the guard there. Because otherwise it'd be very easy to 2-dice him with Claw Mighty Blow, wouldn't it? Now at least he's got to commit players if he wants to claw him. I think he will claw him now because that tree's in a good spot. He can do the block for the 75% knockdown. Or maybe he just goes for the... Oh, he could just go for the... Going for the dance is good, isn't it? Because he's in no man's land to get foul, and you can 2-dice him into a tackle. So yeah, 4-dice him into a tackle. That's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Decent chance, pretty good odds of knocking him over, isn't it, with all the hits? And he does get him. Is he going to foul him? It seems like a Pupok thing to do. I mean, I know Pupok quite well. Oh yeah, I didn't say how he qualified, did I? So he is a stalwart of Champs Ladder with playing, you know, nearly 2,000 games in Champs Ladder with a great record. He qualified through the Invitational Cup from the highest performing Champs Ladder competitors who hadn't qualified another way. That is how Pupok qualified. So yeah, I mean, Yaghul is good. I mean, I played him in DBBL, and in the DBBL qualifier, and I won for some reason. I don't know why, but he played well. Just because people play only in leagues, it doesn't make them any worse than the people who play 2,000 games in Champs Ladder. Yeah, I wasn't criticising Pupok, saying it sounds like a Pupok thing to do. It's just that he's got a bit of a reputation, a bit like Ducky, of being very rowdy. He normally plays Nurgle a lot and Chaos a lot, and he does certain people like going for fouls and certain people don't like going for fouls, do they? But he did get sent off, so it is 9. It's actually 8 versus 9 now, isn't it, on this drive? The Wood Elves completely recovered from that, and he's got 2 guard guys stuck on the tree. Completely recovered from his opening disaster. Yeah, and the Necro getting bashed here isn't crazy. Like, yes, this guy's armor 9, but the other 2 are just armor 8, and well, one was sent off. And armor 8 breaking is not surprising at all, and it doesn't take a lot for armor 9 to break. Not dodging like a dwarf there. Double 1. Bet he regrets that, eh? Double 1. So yeah, this is the thing. Like, Wood Elves they're so powerful for this kind of format because they have the movement, don't they? They have, and it's not just movement. They have what is it? They have like, it's not just the movement stat, is it? They have maneuverability because they have so much dodge. They have 5 players starting with dodge, and that's pretty good, isn't it? And they've got movement 8. 5 players with movement 8 starting with dodge is pretty damn good. So yeah, in my predictions, I did predict a win for Yaghul, and I think it's very close coaching wise. Obviously dice can decide it and mistakes can decide it, but ultimately I just fancied Wood Elves against a Necro team without ghouls. I just think zombies are just too bad. Like, look at this zombie here, he's crap, isn't he? He can't make any dodges and he can barely move. Yeah, mobility, thank you Adonticalis. Mobility was the word I was searching for. Oh, frenzy. No, it wasn't a frenzy trap because it was a catcher. Okay. Yeah, he's having a GFI to get in there. I don't know. I really like in a kind of progression league and stuff. Zombies are kind of good because they get punched by Clawpot and they're cheap, and that, you know, like they don't die so much. You don't have to replace them very often. Zombies are pretty good in progression, but I think in this kind of situation, give me players that can do things, and no players do things better than Wood Elf players, really. Of course, they're more likely to die than some things, but you can't have it all, can you? Did he have to GFI there? Maybe he thought it was worth it. He had 2 rerolls. Like, maybe he didn't have to GFI there. But, yeah, I don't think there was any need to block last turn. I mean, I guess you might Kaz him, but you might root as well, mightn't you? Rooting is really bad thing to do. Hello, Villa Javier. I try not to look at chat when I'm doing these. You know, I have the chat hidden. But hello, Pedro Jack. Yeah. I mean, he's got this guy who could have run around there if he hadn't GFI'd, and then he could have got 1 dice, but it would have been hard. And he's got dodge, and it would have been a friend. No, it wouldn't have been a frenzy trap. Not if he got the wolf in there. But I don't know. I mean, he had 2 rerolls, so using, you know, on turn 6 when you've got 2 rerolls, it's not terrible to use one. That was a good turn from Pupok. Really, he did quite well, didn't he, to get the tackle in and the 2 wolves near the ball. That was a good effort. The sidestepper is actually great here, isn't it? Because he can put him there and not get surfed like any other player would do. He hasn't moved in there yet, though. He's going to keep him there. I would have had the sidestepper there. I would have the sidestepper there. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, isn't it? Yeah. I think I would have maybe put the sidestepper there first. Like, he should have put the sidestepper there first, shouldn't he? And then moved him there. Minor quibble. You know, it's easy to say things when you're watching completely unbiased and with a clear head. When you're playing, you get, you know, there's a lot of pressure, or a bit of, you know, everyone's going to feel a bit of pressure. Some people may feel a lot of pressure, and there's also, you know, you've got a turn limit, and you know, you could just be having a bad day. So I'll never bang on people for their actions, but I do think it just clearly was better to move him there first, wasn't it? So yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? 3 dice on a defenseless guy, but couldn't get the POW. I don't like doing that. I used to do the big long runs to score. Now what I'm trying to get into the habit of doing is just scoring in the quickest possible route in case I misclick, because I would feel bad using my whole movement and then not scoring, or making an accidental GFI and failing it. So now I try to just go by the quickest route to avoid misclicks. But it's fair enough, it's the World Cup, you're allowed a little bit of frivolity, aren't you? So yeah, I mean, after that amazing start by Pupok, things certainly switched up, didn't they? He's been outbashed down to 10 players. Well, not outbashed, actually equal bashed, 10 players aside. Quality missing for Yaghul with a catcher out, and only zombies out for Pupok. gone for that 3 dice. I think I probably would have done. You only get punished 1 in 216 times, and it's a 3 dice on an unprotected wolf. I don't know, I would have thought about it. You know, you don't know how long Yaghul thought about it. That's the thing, when you're looking at the replays, you don't know how long they thought about things, do you? He might have thought about that for 3 minutes, whether to make that blitz. I don't know if I would have done it. I would have probably done it, just because it would really suck not scoring, but it's really unlikely that you don't score because of it. And it's not crazy that you would cast the wolf, is it? Or KO the wolf and him not recovering and stuff. So he's not even going for the 1 turn here, is he? He's set up for the riot. I think that was a mistake. I think he could have tried a 1 turn. If he could have pushed him to here or something, he could have used. I wasn't really paying attention to the setup there from Yaghul, but just from the looks of where these two are now, it looks like he would have maybe used frenzy or not used frenzy, or maybe he could have got the wolf to here. And then done it. I mean, it would be very low odds, of course, but he went for the claw mighty blow hit. No, he didn't. He didn't even claw mighty blow the tree. Wow, that's a bit controversial, isn't it? I think if you you know, if you can make a claw mighty blow hit on the tree or a block claw hit on the tree, I think I would have. If I wasn't going for the 1 turn, I would have tried for the. I would have tried for that for sure. For sure, I would have tried. Or a surf. He could have surfed, couldn't he? By the looks of it, he could have surfed 1, and then gone for the claw hit on the tree. I mean, wouldn't go for the claw hit on the tree now, because you've obviously got to try and build an offensive drive, and the last thing you want is one of your best players stuck on the tree. But on turn 8, I think hitting the tree with claw would have been the play. Oh dear. Right, riot. So I guess this just encourages overtime, doesn't it? It doesn't really make a whole lot of odds. Probably makes it a bit better for Pupok. I guess Pupok's playing for overtime at this point because, you know, Wood Elves could choose to score quickly and try to turn over. Necro don't get that choice because they're just a bash team. Although they're quite a fast bash team. Well, some of their players are fast, some of their players are really slow. They're still just, although they're mostly strength 3, they're just a normal bash team, so they don't really get to choose to score on turn 4 against Wood Elves and try to turn them over. You know, not when the Wood Elves have a team, at least. Oh wow, huge both down there. Maybe he should have re-rolled that, eh? Maybe he should have done, because that leaves a gaping hole. He probably thought for the full 15 seconds he was given about re-rolling that. Because yeah, this is a split your whole team in half. Standard Wood Elf maneuver of splitting the entire team in half. Three dice there. Oh. Not sure about that GFI. Not with these two guys still to act. I would have maybe got more guys through, particularly the stripper, because he doesn't have his tackles wasted due to Pupok not having goals. So I would have definitely tried to get the stripper up first. And he's in a pickle, isn't he? He's got to use the Wolves' movement aid to get himself out of this bind. He really got. I think Pupok really got lucky that Yaghul didn't move these dancers forward. If these two dancers had gone forward, then he made the GFI. it would have likely been game over, wouldn't it? Because he'd be getting one die stripped and then probably scoring. I like tagging the guard. I think I wouldn't have taken blocks here. I'd have been trying to get the dancers around. Could have got the dancers to here. He did get that one around. I think I'd have got the other one around to there as well. And I wouldn't have taken that block. So like I was taking loads of blocks against the dwarves. I think in this case I would have had a kind of fanned out here a little bit with the dancers behind. I think Yaghul let Pupok off the hook a little bit there. He's able to form a cage up around here more or less, isn't he now? Oh man, scary blocks now with without block. Now this is the thing, but he must have really been going to go piling on Mighty Blow. That's the only explanation I think for not having block on that wolf, because Malmir, who is a very good coach on Fumble, he went to a tournament with Necromantic, and he had where Necro's got a double because they were tier 2, and he had a Mighty Blow. But there wasn't stacking allowed, and he had a Mighty Blow wolf, and he hated it. He found himself blitzing with a block wolf all the time, just because it was more reliable. So he really didn't like that he got the double. Now, obviously, it's different when you've got both, but the only reason to not have block Mighty Blow on one is to or both, like have block on both. The only reason that he hasn't taken block on here must have been he was planning on piling on, mustn't he? Which. That's the thing, innit? I wouldn't want to take a risk. Although I sound hypocritical here because I did take block on a catcher. But I think it's a lot worse. I think this is a lot bigger miss on a werewolf than wrestle on a lineman is, or any other skill. I think that's huge to have a frenzy without block is just so risky, But if he won the first game, if he wins the first game, should I say, because it's not past tense, his thinking would be, if he wins the first game, he can give piling on it, and then piling on Mighty Blow. To be fair, is claw piling on Mighty Blow can win you a lot of games, but really. Block Mighty Blow Claw Werewolf is good enough, isn't it? I think Necro really benefited from the Blood Bowl 2016 piling on removal, because they don't need piling on their wolves. Block Mighty Blow with movement 8, and block Mighty Blow Claw and Frenzy is good enough, isn't it? They don't really need piling on. Wow. Oh, thank you very much, Leozar, for the bits. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did kind of stop streaming Blood Bowl for a long while, but I'm back now, and with a World Cup, and obviously I'll be playing Champs Ladder after the World Cup. So thank you very much. Yeah, that's the thing. Look, in Champs Ladder and in various league formats, having Claw is really good. Having Claw in a format where Wood Elves are like a huge factor. They're not miles away the best team, but they're miles away the most scariest. All the other teams play in the same way. And while they're all good, Undead have mummies to randomly Mighty Blow you, and 4 ghouls to be fast and everything, and lizards are a wall of strength 4 and they're really good, and Amazons are a wall of blodge and that's really good. Well, there's lots of good teams in this kind of format, but none of them are AV9. And so the claw just doesn't really get a lot of value. You know, I think it's much more important to have sure hands than it is to have claw. Oh man, that GFI thought about it. You could tell there's a little bit of a pause there. And no reroll. He started his turn with a dice roll. That was he's only got one reroll left. That was maybe a bit. Maybe he could have got stuff in the way, but he couldn't get that much in the way because he'd be scared of the wolf surfing him. And he's running out of players, isn't he? 7 players. With a tree, he's only got 6 elves. So yeah, I guess he's saving his reroll for the 1 turn or overtime. Yeah, that's the thing. As Don Kelly said in chat, you know, you've got this tackle wide, and basing on the matchup, you know, let's say he wins this game and his next match is against Wood Elves. I don't know how the draw is. If his next match is against Wood Elves, he wants to take Mighty Blow on the wide, or he wants to take tackle on the wolf that's got block. So it just feels like I just really didn't like Necro. I just don't think Necro got enough from the format to make them such a good choice. Now obviously Pupok has an 82.6 win rate with Necros, so you know, I can understand why people have gone for different races that I wouldn't have gone for. You know, at the end of the day, everybody's picking the team that they think gives them the best chance of winning the tournament. And if somebody's played a lot with a race and they're good with a race, they're comfortable with a race, it makes sense to use them. Wow, sidestepping into the cage, ballsy, very ballsy. He's getting hit on a lot of 3 dice this way, and yeah, he can fill up the gaps. I had to push him away. So he, yep, scores in turn 16. So now it's just a 1-turner attempt, and then possibly overtime. 9 players. The 1 turn is obviously very difficult against 2 stand firm. And the stand firm are going to go on the line. The bad thing is, if he doesn't go for the 1 turn, he's giving up a Mighty Blow hit on one of these fleshies, but he won't care about that. He's just got to worry about this guy getting pushed. So he can, you know, this kind of setup is pretty good because he's going to have to leap to hit. So with having a guard there, it's going to be uphill. He's got a guard there. I mean, he could pow him first. He probably wants to hit him with a tree and then leap to blitz or something, or you know, it's pretty tough. I would have maybe had more players here. But then he wants to stop the dodges if he gets the push. So you know, it's a pretty hard thing to stop. Really, it's pretty hard 1 turn to make against 2 stand firm, especially with a perfect defense. Right, now he's done. Yeah, the Wood Elves kind of gave up halfway through, but they only had 6 elves left, and they only had 1 reroll. So, and then he was rolling 1s first. For the first dice he was rolling was a 1, and he just didn't get the chance to do more, did he? Really, in the second half. But you know, for overtime, you could have 10 players, and the Necro could have 9. So yeah, it is what it is. Flesh golems. Used his entire team. Could only hit one of them. He comes back. 9 men. 10 men, sorry. And he comes back. So it's 10 versus 10. And Yaghul wins the toss. So tough times for Necro, isn't it? You know, that's the thing, and that's the thing as well. Overtime, everyone says overtime favours the bash teams, and it does to an extent. It does to an extent because they're likely to have more players. They haven't got more players in this scenario, but it's a lot easier, you know, for if it is equal. It's a lot easier for the elves to win when they lose the toss, isn't it? And to win when the opponent has no rerolls and stuff. Interesting that he's gone kind of asymmetrical here, isn't he? He's given him a zombie to punch to break through. So he caught the kickoff. That's pretty nice, actually, isn't it? Yeah, so he did go for the weak link. I think maybe he should have had the flesh golem there and the zombie there. I don't know why he had the fleshy here, but then not the fleshy there. That's, I guess, to protect his wolf, maybe, but still. Wow, he made a pass. What is he, a Narian? That must have been a misclick. Oh no, he's going to hand off as well. He's going to hand off to the dancer in a cage. Oh man, aggressive two-turn attempt. Very aggressive, but he got to make it due to the flesh golem not being where the other flesh golem was, basically. Strange from Pupok. I don't know if that was a mistake. Maybe he ran out of time or something. I know that was a factor in one of the games because the coach PM'd me that he ran out of time in a couple of key turns. But that's weird that Pupok gave him the kind of easy route through. Maybe that was a tactic, but I don't think so. Especially he's reduced to 6+ing to 1 dice. Oh, and he rolled the skull. Oh man, got the 6+ dodge in, but then rolled a skull. Maybe he should have done that with the. Oh, but he was going for a 1 dice into a 2 dice. But wouldn't you have just done the dodge in with a flesh golem? Wouldn't that have been better? You'd be going straight into a 2 dice. It'd still be a 6+ dodge. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, Jeff. So there you go. Congrats to Yaghul from the DBBL. And commiseration to Pupok. It's funny, isn't it? You know, like, I don't think the dice were horrible there, one way or the other. You know, 1 Kaz for the Woodies and a send-off, thanks to the regen. You know, the bash dice were pretty even, and you know, Yaghul rolled a few 1s, but really it's just, I just think he won the toss, didn't he? Maybe if Pupok had won the toss, he would have won. They both scored on turn 8 on their respective drives. It's just the problem is it's a lot harder to defend as the bash team in overtime, just because the Wood Elves can score at any time, can't they? And it's much harder for a bash team, even one with movement 8 werewolves, to score at any time they want. And then, you know, the way it happened, Yaghul was able to go all in for the 2-turn touchdown and got it. So well played to him. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.